Hello friends, in the previous videos in comprehension we have finished a few exercises. To name some, till exercises 1st to 7th have been finished in the previous videos. Today we will begin with exercise number 8. If you are new, kindly subscribe. If you are already a subscriber, please like and share as much as possible. So without wasting further time, we will start with exercise number 8. By the beginning of the 20th century, doctors knew that many diseases were caused by living microbes. They knew about immunization and vaccines. Thanks to the efforts of scientists like Jenner, Pasteur, Koch, and Ehrlich Lister, had taught them the value of the antiseptics. Known chemical disinfectants such as carbolic acid would kill germs, but they would also injure cell tissues. How could harmful microbes be destroyed without, at the same time, injuring both tissues? In 1900s, to a shipping clerk, Alexander Fleming, a career in science seemed like a distant dream. Alexander was born on August 6, 1881, the youngest son of an Ayrshire Scottish farmer. He was able to complete high school, but then his family's funds ran out. At 16, he took a job as a shipping clerk and stayed there for 4 years. In 1901, Alexander came into a small legacy which enabled him to continue his education, and on the advice of one of his brothers, who was a doctor, he chose to prepare for a career in medicine. Alexander did unusually well in medical school, along with rifle shooting, swimming, water polo, and painting. After his graduation, his teacher, Professor Wright, asked him to join him in bacteriological research, which he readily agreed. हमने गद्यांश पढ़ लिया है. अब हम, now that we have read the passage, we will start asking the questions and answering all them. According to the passage, what was the main problem being encountered by doctors? गद्यांश के हिसाब से जो डॉक्टरों की जो मुख्य समस्या क्या थी? The answer to question number first is A. How to eliminate microbes while protecting body cells. शरीर की कोशिकाओं की रक्षा करते हुए जीवाणुओं को कैसे मारें, यही उनकी मुख्य समस्या थी. The answer to question number 1 is A. Question number 2. How did Alexander keep himself busy in his spare time during college days? खाली समय में अलेक्जेंडर क्या करते थे? The answer is D. Not given in passage. कि गद्यांश में इसका उत्तर नहीं दिया हुआ है. Question number 3. Which of the following was taught to the doctors at the beginning of the 20th century? निम्न में से कौन सा डॉक्टरों को 20वीं शताब्दी की शुरुआत में सिखाया जाता था? The answer is D. Good microbes help in developing body cells. अच्छे जीवाणु हैं, वे खैरी कोशिकाओं को विकास करने में मदद करते हैं. इसका उत्तर थर्ड क्वेश्चन का डी दे रखा है, बट मेरे ख्याल में ये सवाल ही गलत है क्योंकि इसका गद्यांश में कोई उत्तर नहीं दे रखा है. The answer given here is D, but the question I think is wrong because no such information has been provided as to what was taught in the beginning of 20th century, and the question has been asked. And there is not an option of that none of these are not given in passage. Let's go to question number 4. Why did Fleming take up the job as a shipping clerk? Fleming ने shipping clerk की job क्यों ली? The answer is, the fourth is A. The answer to fourth is not A. His financial position was not good at that time. The answer is B. The answer to fourth is B. His financial position was not good at that time. Also in third question I made a mistake. The answer given in book for third question is B. The role and importance of antiseptics in medical treatment. दिस आंसर इज राइट, क्योंकि ये जो है ये सिखाया जाता था. लेट्स गो टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 5. Which of the following advices was given by his brother to Alexander? The answer to question number 5 is C. To take up a career in medicine. कि निम्न में से कौन सी सलाह दी गई थी अलेक्जेंडर को अपने बड़े भाई द्वारा? तो इसका आंसर आएगा सी, कि वह चिकित्सा में अपना एक करियर बनाए. क्वेश्चन नंबर 6. Why was it possible for Alexander to continue his studies? अलेक्जेंडर के लिए अपनी पढ़ाई कंटिन्यू रखना या फिर जारी रखना क्यों संभव हुआ? द आंसर इज डी. ही इनहेरिटेड सफिशिएंट मनी टू कंटिन्यू हिज एजुकेशन. कि उनके पास इतना विरासत में उन्हें इतने पैसे मिल गए कि वह अपना शिक्षा देख सके, शिक्षा का खर्च दे सके. क्वेश्चन नंबर 7. Who amongst the following has not been mentioned in the passage as scientist? निम्न में से किसका उल्लेख पैसेज में वैज्ञानिक के रूप में नहीं हुआ है? The answer is C. Wright. राइट का उल्लेख पैसेज में वैज्ञानिक के रूप में नहीं हुआ. Wright has not been mentioned in the paragraph as a scientist. Question number 8. Which of the following statement is not true in the context of the passage? गद्यांश के संदर्भ में निम्न में से कौन सा सत्य नहीं है? The answer to it is D. Harmful microbes attack and cause disease tissues which are injured by chemical disinfectants. यह गद्यांश के संदर्भ में सत्य नहीं है. Question number 9 to 12. Which of the following is most nearly the same in meaning as the word group of words printed in capital as used in the passage? गद्यांश के संदर्भ में बताइए कि किसका जो अर्थ है वह लगभग बराबर है या फिर लगभग समान है. क्वेश्चन नंबर 9. वैल्यू. द आंसर टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 9 इज सी. इम्पोर्टेंस. यहाँ पर हाँ, वैल्यू का मतलब कॉस्ट भी हो सकता है. वैल्यू कैन ऑल्सो मीन कॉस्ट, बट इन द कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ द as used in the passage. In the context of the passage, the meaning of the word value is importance. Question number 10. Question number 10 asked. गद्यांश के संदर्भ में इसका मतलब होगा suggested, सुझाव दिया. In the context of the passage it would mean suggested. The answer for 10th is B. Question number 11. Prepare. The answer is to pursue. Question number 12th. Ran out means dwindled. Ran out means there was only little left, or dwindled also means the same. Question number 13 to 15. Which of the following is the most opposite in meaning of the word printed in capital as used in the passage? You have to find the most opposite meaning as used in the passage with the context in the passage. हमें सबसे जो विपरीत अर्थ वाले शब्द हैं उन्हें ढूंढने हैं गद्यांश के संदर्भ में. क्वेश्चन नंबर 13. रेडिली. द अपोजिट विल बी रिलेक्टेंटली. रेडिली का मतलब तैयार था, मतलब किसी को समझाना ही नहीं पड़ा, तत्परता से किया. रिलेक्टेंटली का मतलब होता है बेमन से किया. They did not want to do it, but still they did it. Question number 14. Took. The answer to question number 14 is C. Declined. क्योंकि गद्यांश के संदर्भ में इसका मतलब होता कि जॉब लेना. He took the job, but we have to say opposite, so we will say he declined the job, क्योंकि हमें विपरीत अर्थ देना है. Question number 15. Distant. The answer is A. Possible. Because in the context of the paragraph, it would mean that it was impossible. So the opposite would be possible. The answer to 15th is A. With this, we have finished exercise number 8. We will go to exercise number 9th. Let's begin exercise number 9th. Since the most ancient times, India has been not only periodically invaded by greedy hordes, but also visited by tradesmen and travelers, scholars and sightseers. Some of them have written books. The books of these writers become all the more important because there were not too many of them, and they have served as rich sources for the historian. It is especially in this context that observations provided by the great Chinese rite Hien Sang become very relevant. Already in the 7th century, Buddhism was a powerful cultural force among the educated classes of China. It was common for Chinese pilgrims to come to India, the native land of the Buddha, to pay their respects to the founder of their religion. Perhaps the most famous of them all was this gentle observer who had studied and traveled extensively in China before entering the Indian subcontinent. Being both scholar and sophisticated, he was not given to easy praise. Within India itself, he traversed deserts and climbed mountains, stayed in villages and lived in capitals, practiced in monasteries and studied in universities, and spent time in some royal courts as well. He went to Mathura and Ayodhya, to Prayag and Pataliputra, to Gaya and Kamarupa. He studied Sanskrit and Pali to delve deeper into Buddhist philosophy and Hindu traditions. Most important of all, he wrote down in detail his many experiences and impressions. अब हमने गद्यांश पढ़ लिया है. We have read the passage. Now let's begin answering the questions. Question number 1. Why are the writings of Hien Sang considered as relevant? हेन सांग की जो कृतियां हैं उन्हें relevant क्यों माना जाता है, विश्वास परक क्यों माना जाता है? The answer is D. He was a gentle observer. कि वह सौम्य और ध्यान से चीजों को देखने वाले व्यक्ति थे. Question number 2. What probably prompted Hien Sang to travel to India? कि हेन सांग को भारत आने के लिए किस चीज ने प्रेरित किया होगा? The answer is second. To the question number 2 is C. To undertake pilgrimage and enhance knowledge. ज्ञान को बढ़ाने के लिए एवं तीर्थ यात्रा करने के लिए हेन सांग भारत आए. Question number 3. Hien Sang did all of the following during his travel in India except. The answer is D. Taught in universities. उन्होंने ये सारे काम किए, बस यूनिवर्सिटी में शिक्षक नहीं रहे. Question number 4. Which of the following has been considered as the real contribution of Hien Sang? निम्न में से कौन सा हेन सांग का मुख्य योगदान माना जाता है? The answer is A. He meticulously recorded his experiences and feelings. उन्होंने अपने भावनाओं एवं अपने अनुभवों को विस्तार से लिखा था. Question number 5. As per the passage, which of the following cities was not visited by Hien Sang? गद्यांश के संदर्भ में निम्न में से कौन सा शहर हेन सांग द्वारा नहीं देखा गया था? The answer is B. वाराणसी नहीं देखा गया था. Question number 6. Why did Hien Sang study Sanskrit and Pali? हेन सांग ने संस्कृत और पाली की पढ़ाई क्यों की? इसका जवाब है E. None of these. इनमें से कोई कारण नहीं है. Question number 7. The writing of Hien Sang appears to be objective because. The answer is D. He was basically a historian. Question number 8. China was under the influence of which of the following during Hien Sang's time? चाइना किसके प्रभाव में था हेन सांग के समय? एजुकेटेड इन एलीट क्लासेस, शिक्षित एवं उच्च वर्ग, चाइनीज पिलग्रिम्स जो चीन के जो तीर्थ यात्री थे उनके प्रभाव में। द आंसर टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 8 इज ई, नॉट गिवन इन द पैसेज। इसका उत्तर गद्यांश में नहीं दिया हुआ है, इट इज नॉट गिवन इन द पैसेज। क्वेश्चन नंबर 9, why are the writings of ancient writers considered as very important? The answer to question number 9 is C. They are among the few sources of historical importance. ये उन कुछ स्रोतों में से हैं जिनका ऐतिहासिक महत्ता है। क्वेश्चन नंबर 10 to 12. Choose the word which is most nearly the same in meaning as the word or group of words given in capitals as used in the passage. सबसे जो समान अर्थ वाले शब्द हैं उन्हें ढूंढना है। जैसे ट्रैवर्स का अर्थ यहां पर होगा डी, क्रॉस। ट्रैवर्स का मतलब गुजरना, क्रॉस का मतलब भी वही। क्वेश्चन नंबर 11, पे, इसका आंसर होगा ए, ऑफर। पे रेस्पेक्ट का मतलब ऑफर रेस्पेक्ट, यहां पर यह कि इज्जत देना। क्वेश्चन नंबर 12, प्रोवाइडेड। इसका उत्तर होगा सी, फर्निश्ड, मतलब आपने किसी को कुछ दिया। इसका आंसर भी यही होगा, फर्निश्ड का मतलब भी यही होता है। क्वेश्चन नंबर 13 to 15, choose the word which is most opposite in meaning of the word given in capitals as used in the passage. अब हमें सबसे जो विपरीत अर्थ है गद्यांश के संदर्भ में उसे ढूंढना है। क्वेश्चन नंबर 13, कॉमन। द आंसर इज ई। कॉमन का मतलब आम, रेयर का मतलब दुर्लभ। क्वेश्चन नंबर 14, रिच। द आंसर टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 14 इज डी, स्कैंटी। रिच का मतलब बहुतायत में, स्कैंटी का मतलब अल्प मात्रा में। क्वेश्चन नंबर 15, सर्व्ड। सर्व्ड का मतलब होता है सहायता करना। इस संदर्भ में इसका मतलब होगा हिंडर्ड, मतलब किसी के राह में व्यवधान डालना। With this we have finished exercise number 9. Now let's go to exercise number 10th. I am an urban creature, city born. My childhood felt no touch of the village. When I started to look after our estates, I feared that my duties would be irksome. I was not used to such work and my ignorance lay heavy on my mind. I could not imagine that tied down to figures and accounts I might yet remain human and natural. As I entered into the work, it took hold of me. It is my nature that whenever I undertake any responsibility, I lose myself in it and try to do my utmost. Setting myself to unravel the complexities of zamindari work, I earned a reputation for the new methods I evolved. As a matter of fact, neighboring landlords began to send their men to me to learn my methods. The old men on my staff grew alarmed. They used to maintain records in a way that I could never have grasped. Their idea was that I should understand nothing more than what they chose to explain. A change of method would create confusion, so they said. They pointed out that on anything becoming a subject matter of litigation, the court would be doubtful about the new way the records were kept. I persisted through changing the thing from top to bottom, and the result proved to be satisfactory. The tenants often came to see me at any time. Sometimes I had to spend the whole day listening to their representations, and meal times would slip by. I did all this work with enthusiasm and joy. I had lived in seclusion since boyhood, and here was my perfect experience of the village. I was filled with the pleasure of blazing new trails. I was anxious to see village life in the minutest detail. My duties took me from village to village, thus giving me a chance to see all aspects of village life and to satisfy my eager curiosity about the daily tasks, village folk, and the varied cycle of their work. Slowly, the poverty and the misery of the people grew vivid before my eyes and made me restless, and began to wish that I could do something for them. I was struck with shame that I was a zamindar, impelled by the money motive absorbed in revenue returns. With that realization, I awoke to the task of trying to stir the minds of the people so that they could shoulder their own responsibilities. आइए अब इसके आंसर देना शुरू करते हैं. Question number 1. The author was possessed by the work when he started doing it because जब लेखक ने कार्य करना शुरू किया तो बस उसमें पूरी तरह खो गए क्योंकि उनको जो भी काम दिया जाता था वे उसमें पूरा ध्यान लगाते थे. The answer is A. He used to concentrate on any work that he undertook. Question number 2. Which of the following statements are definitely true in the context of the passage? गद्यांश के संदर्भ में कौन से कथन निश्चित रूप से सत्य हैं? The author's new accounting method proved to be satisfactory. The courts expressed doubt about the new method. The change in method created confusion among all. ये जो लेखक का नया तरीका था हिसाब रखने का वह संतुष्टिप्रद साबित हुआ कि अदालत ने सवाल पूछे नए तरीके के बारे में या फिर जो तरीके में जो बदलाव आया उससे सबके बीच में कंफ्यूजन हो गया अर्थात किसी को कुछ समझ में नहीं आया. The answer to question number 2 is A. Only A. सिर्फ A ही सत्य है. Question number 3. Which of the following statements are false in the context of the passage? निम्न में से कौन सा कथन गद्यांश के संदर्भ में असत्य है? The author felt irritated when he had to skip meals for listening to the complaints of the villagers. कि लेखक को अच्छा नहीं लगता था जब उन्हें अपना खाना पीना छोड़ना पड़ता था ताकि वे गांव वालों की तकलीफ सुन सकें. The author had spent his boyhood in village among the villagers and poor people. कि उन्होंने अपना बचपन गांव वालों के और गरीबों के बीच बिताया था. The author was happy when he had escaped from the clutches of the nagging villagers. कि वो बहुत खुश हुए जब उन्हें मीन मेक निकालने वाले गांव वालों से छुटकारा मिल गया. The answer to question number 3 is E. All of these. ये सभी बातें झूठी हैं. Question number 4. How did the author's contribution to zamindari work get recognition from others? The answer to question number 4 is C. The neighboring zamindars sent their men to the author to know his new methods. लेखक के जो तरीके थे उन्होंने दूसरों द्वारा कैसे पहचान बनाई क्योंकि आसपास के जो जमींदार थे वो अपने आदमियों को भेजने लगे ताकि वे नया तरीका सीख सकें. Question number 5. Which of the following aspects of the villagers made the author restless? गांव वालों के वो कौन से दृष्टिकोण थे या कौन सी चीजें थी जिनसे लेखक की शांति भंग हो गई. The answer to question number 5 is E. None of these. इनमें से कोई सा नहीं. Question number 6. Which of the following reasons did the staff give in support of their reluctance to change the accounting method? अपने हिसाब किताब रखने के तरीके के पक्ष में जो कामकाज के लोग थे उन्होंने क्या तर्क दिया? इसका जवाब है D. In case of litigation, the court could cast doubts on the new method. कि यदि मामला कचहरी में जाता है या कोई केस होता है तो अदालत नए तरीके पर सवाल उठा सकती है. Question number 7. The author's initial reaction while starting to look after the estate was. अपने जो जमीन थी उसकी देखभाल करते समय लेखक के शुरुआती विचार क्या थे? The answer is C. That he would not be able to do the work in an appropriate way. कि वे कार्य को संतुष्टि से अंजाम नहीं दे सकेंगे. Question number 8. What was the effect of the author's realization of his zamindari status? The answer to question number 8 is B. He tried to awaken the people for carrying out their own task with dedication. जब ऑथर को जब लेखक को अपनी जमींदारी के पद का एहसास हुआ तो उन्होंने क्या किया कि उन्होंने लोगों को अपने कर्तव्य के प्रति जगाने का प्रयत्न किया। क्वेश्चन नंबर 9th, हाउ कुड द ऑथर गेट एन अपॉर्चुनिटी टू नो डिटेल्स ऑफ विलेज लाइफ, कि लेखक को जो गांव का जो जनजीवन था उसकी बारीकियां सीखने का मौका कैसे मिला। द आंसर टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 9th इज सी, by maintaining curiosity and eagerness to see village life। ऐसा किताब में दे रखा है, ऐसा किताब में नहीं दे रखा है, माय मिस्टेक। द आंसर इज बी, by traveling from village to village and observing villagers at work as given in the passage। Question number 10th, what made the author feel shameful, लेखक को किस बात की शर्म आई। The answer to question number 10th is C, his status of a जमींदार के रूप में अपने पद के बारे में उन्हें शर्म आई क्योंकि आसपास गरीबी फैली थी और वे स्वयं जमींदार थे। क्वेश्चन नंबर 11, choose the word group of words which is most nearly the same in meaning as the word in capital as used in the passage। ऐसे शब्द ढूंढने हैं जिनका अर्थ गद्यांश के संदर्भ में लगभग एक सा था। जैसे क्वेश्चन नंबर 11th, लूज, गद्यांश के संदर्भ में इसका आंसर होगा ए, गेट एनग्रोस्ड। लूज का मतलब हारना भी हो सकता है, लेकिन लूज माई सेल्फ इन द वर्क, काम में पूरी तरह खो जाना। गेट एनग्रोस्ड का भी यही मतलब है। क्वेश्चन नंबर 12th, फिगर्स, फिगर्स का मतलब चित्र भी हो सकता है, फिगर्स का मतलब आंकड़ा भी हो सकता है। द आंसर टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 12th इज सी, 12th इज बी, नंबर्स। तो आंकड़ों का मतलब हो सकता है अंक। क्वेश्चन नंबर 13, चूज, चूज और चोज की मतलब मीनिंग स्पेलिंग एक जैसी होती है। द आंसर टू चूज इज डिजायर, इच्छा, मतलब किसी चीज की इच्छा प्रकट करना, किसी चीज को चुनना। डिजायर का यही मतलब होता है। क्वेश्चन नंबर 14 to 16, चूज द वर्ड विच इज मोस्ट अपोजिट इन मीनिंग ऑफ द वर्ड इन कैपिटल्स एज यूज्ड इन द पैसेज। गद्यांश के संदर्भ में जो शब्द इनसे उल्टी मीनिंग रखता है, विपरीत अर्थ रखता है, उसे हमें चुनना है। तो शुरू करते हैं। क्वेश्चन नंबर 14, इग्नोरेंस, मतलब ऐसी अवस्था जहां आप किसी चीज पर ध्यान नहीं दे रहे हैं। द आंसर टू 14th इज ए, नॉलेज। इग्नोरेंस का अर्थ होगा ज्ञान। क्वेश्चन नंबर मतलब इग्नोरेंस का विलोम होगा ज्ञान। क्वेश्चन नंबर 15, विविड, विविड का मतलब है एकदम स्पष्ट, इसका विपरीत होगा ब्लर्ड, ब्लर्ड का मतलब है धुंधला। क्वेश्चन नंबर 16, एंग्शियस, एंग्शियस का मतलब होता है चिंतित, इसका विपरीत अर्थ होगा ई, इनडिफरेंट, कि उन्हें कोई फर्क ही नहीं पड़ रहा, दुनिया में कुछ भी हो रहा है, ना उन्हें चिंता हो रही ना कुछ और। So with this we have finished all the 10 exercises in the comprehension, and with this the syllabus for the English the language proficiency has also been completed. So keep working hard and have a nice day.